Hey, it's Carrie. So this is the first one in a while where I have actually had my face on camera, so hi! Uh, this project is one I've been waiting for a little while now. I have this used to contain passata actually, but a big glass jar. I do have the lid for it, but I'm not dealing with that today. It will simply be covered with gesso and painted, probably just black or white, something very plain. What I am doing today, glass painting. I got these from, where is it, The Range, I believe it is? Well, they were about £3. I've got no idea what they're going to be like, but we're going to find out together. So let's get into it. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I did try to use a biro to sketch out a little pattern, just a few swirly things, and it's an absolute pain in the ass, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna lick my thumb and try and wipe it off. Yeah, comes off quite easily like that. Best dry that off again. The bottle's only just been washed and dried, so I can't even tell I ever drew on it. Right, one clean bottle hanging on the wall. And if one clean bottle should accidentally fall. Anyway. Let's see what these paints are like. Okay, it seems that that's not how you deal with them. I'm very confused because it's got one of those squeezy nozzles. Let's see if it just squeezes out anyway. No. Loosen it a bit and squeeze. There's something really confusing about this cap. It should... Aha! I just had to twist it before taking it off and make sure that that is pushed firmly in. There we go. Now then. Ooh, that comes out quite quickly. This stuff isn't bad. Question is, will it run? Is it so thin that it'll run as it dries? This is actually quite easy to use as long as you don't keep the tip on the glass itself, because that's when you get those scratches like I had at the beginning. It's very blobby, which incidentally is what I wanted. Almost psychedelic, sort of 60s is what I'm going for. There we go. Psychedelic 60s. Well, that attempt at a flower didn't work too well. that it's running. It's running. But then again, if I'm trying to make this a psychedelic sort of thing, maybe letting it run in some directions would be good. For being glass paint, it should know that most surfaces people are going to paint would be rounded, so you'd think that if it comes out of a tip a certain thickness, then it would be able to stand that thickness. Kind of like puffy paint. You would think it would act a bit like puffy paint. Apparently not. I'm going to put this down on a surface that I don't care about getting messy, a painting surface of some kind. I'll be back. I'll just see how this goes. You can see I've got some paint around here from where everything was leaking, but this piece here is still a tiny bit tacky from where I moved it and ended up resting that part on the cover for a while to allow these bits to dry. So I'm going to avoid that as much as I can, and we'll see how this goes. Now, I'm not bothered about keeping the colours separate really, because obviously if the red and yellow mix, then I'll end up with orange. With the blue and yellow, I'll end up with a different shade of green to this. So we'll see. The only ones I'm bothered about mixing really are these two, because then it'll end up sort of brown. Right, let's get into it. I want to start with the yellow. This one kept its nozzle in here. Wait, oh, don't tell me that's dry. No, it is still squeezy. Oh, it does come out. Okay, it's not dry. Whew, that was a worrying moment there.
What did I
I can say that I'm not a fan of mixing the colours. A lot of this seems quite brown to me, even the purple. So I'm going to stick with a bit of green, which I might mix some yellow into because that looks alright. But it's mainly going to be green and blue. So let's get on with the rest of it. I have only just finished painting the bottle. It's still wet. Actually, some of it hasn't been painted yet. You've seen all that I have done. I'm going to finish painting it later on, and I will put pictures on my Instagram for you to see. If you want to follow me on Instagram, just check it out below and you will see this fully done. So that was the artistic part of this video, and now for the review. These glass paints, like graphics with an F, it says use them to create your own designs on bottles, glasses and glass panels, but the thing is, if you are using them on a bottle and you want to just draw with the tips the way that they're designed to with this point, then when you leave it to dry, the paint's gonna run. So it's a good job I was going for something abstract here, else it just wouldn't have worked. If you've got one of those square bottles, then that would be fine, but if you're working on a normal bottle or a regular cup, glass cup, or a mug even, it's not going to work the way that you would expect it to, especially considering the pictures that are on the box. So while they are good paints and the black is opaque, the other colours can be opaque if you leave them thick enough. I'm not entirely sure about them, to be honest. I would gladly try them on a white mug. I think they would be quite good on those, but you would need a couple of layers. I also don't recommend mixing them because when I mixed the colours, that's when this mess happened. It's alright to mix the blue and yellow, that makes a decent green, but mixing anything else, the orange didn't really work out very orangey and has a blue tint in the middle, and that is my fault for not cleaning the brush in between. But the purple is more of a brown. It's just not what I would hope it could be. For only a couple of quid, it's not bad. If you're wanting these for something to just mess around with in quarantine, put some decoration on some mugs, some jars, by all means, go ahead. I just don't know how often I'll be using these in the future. That is it for this week's Sunday video. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to give me a thumbs up so that I know about it. I will likely be resuming my digital art on Wednesday, but yeah. The only way I know that you like what I'm doing is by giving me a thumbs up or a comment, preferably both. So do let me know what you think, and that way I can cater my content to what you guys are interested in. I will be seeing you soon.